Melissa Bailey, your East Valley area expert, and today I'm going to give you the blueprint for buying your first home in Mesa, Arizona in 2026. If you're buying your first home right here in Mesa, you've probably spent the last few weeks looking at real estate apps and checking online, looking at mortgage calculators, and feeling a little overwhelmed because it's a lot. I want you to take a deep breath and know that the market has shifted dramatically, and the days of desperate bidding wars and paying $50,000 over asking price are behind us for now. The data shows that more than a third of active listings out here on the market have seen recent price drops. Buyers finally have the upper hand, and we can use that to your advantage for negotiating. But if you want to walk into this market and win without losing your sanity, you cannot use an outdated playbook. You need a clear, step-by-step strategy that cuts out the noise and protects your wallet. I'm Melissa Bailey, and as a Mesa native, I've watched this valley grow from a small town desert community into an incredibly huge, massive area. I've guided hundreds of families through this local real estate landscape, and today I'm gonna walk you through the exact checklist you need to go from renting to holding your own house keys in less than 30 days. And we're gonna make it as stress-free as possible for you. So the absolute golden rule of buying is that you have to pre-qualify first. I get calls all the time from people saying they just want to look at homes and they want to see what's going on in the market, but it doesn't work like that. If we're going to plan for your financial future, you want to get pre-qualified first. That means you're going to get with my preferred lender, Mo at Mojo Finance, and we are going to get that pre-qualification before we look at a house, because we want to set up a budget for you. We want to make sure you're set up in the right manner and you have pre-qualification in hand. We know what your credit profile looks like. They talk about debt to income ratios, and this will do two critical things for you. It'll show you exactly what your true monthly budget is, or how much you want to spend monthly, and then we reverse engineer it and get homes so that we can make sure that your monthly payment is comfortable for you, and it stops you from falling in love with a gorgeous 4-bedroom house that you might not want to pay the monthly mortgage on. So we get you to stop visualizing what doesn't work for your budget. That's going to protect you when we're out looking at homes. We want to make sure that that payment is comfortable for you so that your heart isn't broken when we're out there looking at houses. That pre-qualification letter from our lender, that's what allows us to go shopping. And we know that when you walk into the right house, then we're ready to make that offer. Now that you're pre-qualified, we start looking at homes. I'll set you up on a search. You can also look out on all the portals on the internet. You can send me houses that fit your budget, and then we go look at those houses. It's great to look at houses that have been sitting on the market a little bit longer, because we're seeing listings that have reduced prices. And when individual seller cuts the price by $10,000 or $15,000, that lets you know that your monthly payment is gonna go down only by a small amount, maybe $50 or $60 a month. So what we wanna do is structure that and look at the big picture and see what we can do to leverage that. So we're just not gonna ask for a price drop we can negotiate a strategic seller credit to buy down the rate for you. So let's look at how a rate buy down can save you hundreds of dollars monthly. Instead of shaving a tiny bit off the purchase price by offering $10,000 or $15,000 less, we're going to ask the seller to contribute a whole chunk of cash to you at closing for either a temporary or a permanent interest rate buy down. So for example, a 2-1 buy down is what we do often, and that'll give you a full 2% off your entire first year of mortgage and then 1% lower for the second year. This gives you a little bit of breathing room and gives you a safety net in your budget, and you can use that extra cash to keep in your bank account instead of going towards the mortgage for the first 2 years. You can use that for furniture, minor updates, or building back your rainy day savings that you just depleted to buy this house. So when we target a property that has been sitting for a few weeks, I always like to look at the ones 30 days or longer, we can often secure both a reduced price and a substantial seller credit that funds that buy down for you. That's how you maximize your leverage and build long-term financial comfort. And that starts from day one. Once we find the right house, we enter the active contract phase. That means we're gonna be putting together a contract in writing, and I wanna keep you calm, cool, and collected during that phase. We're gonna make the offer that's tailored to protect your interests. The moment the seller accepts or signs that contract, our official 30-day clock starts. And they may not accept our very first offer, we can get a counter offer. And then once we've come to terms, then we're gonna go to title and you're gonna deposit earnest money. That earnest money is gonna be held in escrow. It's 1% of the purchase price, and it's gonna get applied towards your down payment at closing, and it acts as a financial placeholder showing the seller that you're fully committed to purchasing the home. This money doesn't go into thin air. It's held in a secure escrow account for the address, and it will apply to your down payment at closing and could be applied to closing costs. Next, we're gonna immediately schedule and have a home inspection. We wanna make sure that the house is in good condition, and that's gonna be with a certified professional. I can provide you a list of companies that I've worked with that I recommend. They're gonna look at the roof, the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical panels, and the air conditioning. They're also gonna provide a comprehensive multi-page report detailing everything from minor cosmetic scuffs to major mechanical items. We're gonna review that, and we're gonna ask for any repairs that affect the functionality of the home. We're not gonna ask for cosmetic things, and we're gonna ask the seller to complete those. If they provide a credit, I have companies that can get paid out at close of escrow, and we can get those repairs completed at close. While we're going through the inspection process, our amazing lender is working hard behind the scenes, and during this window, you're gonna pay for the appraisal after we've gotten through the inspection. The third-party appraiser is gonna visit the property and verify that the home's market value is supported by what we put in the contract that we negotiated. At the same time, when the appraisal comes back, the next thing you're gonna do is get insurance. You're gonna get homeowner's insurance policy. It must be fully established and underwritten and locked in before the loan can fund in the end. Your file is then gonna move to formal underwriting, where the bank ensures that every single piece of documentation meets their strict guidelines, and they're gonna issue a conditional approval. Once we get that conditional approval, our favorite 3 words are cleared to close. So you may need to provide updated bank statements, explaining deposits, gift letters if you're getting money from your parents to buy. The absolute golden rule during the underwriting process is to keep your finances completely frozen and ask the lender when you're buying anything. You want to make sure that you're not making any big financial decisions. Don't buy a car. Don't go finance furniture. When you first applied, we want to make sure that everything is the same as when we started that process. So you need to be communicating on a regular basis with the lender so that we can get that cleared to close and get you into your new home. When you follow these steps, will help you if any roadblock comes up, and ensure that that 30-day window is everything is completed. Buying a home is a huge personal and financial milestone, and it doesn't have to be chaotic. When you have an organized plan and a seasoned local professional like me and my team, the entire journey becomes incredibly predictable. I can tell you everything that's going to happen throughout the transaction. And if you've been thinking about buying, all you have to do is call me. I can get you set up with my lender, and we can talk about what to do to get you into your first home. I'm Melissa Bailey with Real Broker, and I create personalized strategies for you to buy your first home. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and come back to my channel for more real, honest insight about how the housing market is working and what's going on in 2026. Make sure to give me a call when you're ready, and I am so excited to take that first step with you. I can't wait to meet you and find your personal place in the desert that you can call home.